Hey guys, Alex here from Onstreet Garage again. Today I am here in one of my old cars. It's probably one of my top 5 cars that I've owned. It is 100% the coolest four-wheel drive that I've owned. And I am of the opinion that it's probably the coolest Prado in the entire world. I'll let you guys be the judge of that as we go. But I'm just gonna do a little walk around video today, do a review on it, show the interior, the exterior, the mods I've done to it, because I've done a fair bit to it. Why I think these are really special, really cool cars. And I'm excited to show you guys and see what you think of it. I can't wait, let's get started. Alex here from Onstreet Garage. I'm super excited to show you guys this car today. This is my old car. It's a KZJ78 Prado. They're a first gen Prado 70 series. It's an import from Japan. I bought it in myself. I've modified this heavily. It's got a different front end. I painted the whole thing myself. Interior's been done, there's some mechanical stuff. So let's get straight into it. I've got so much to show you guys. I'm so excited. So let's go. Alrighty, the angle I've got you guys on now is the angle that confuses most Australians when they see this car. A lot of them think it's a 76 and the front end doesn't really make sense to them. So these are actually quite different from the 76 in a lot of ways and almost identical in others. So if you go from the front door back, visually 76. You can use the doors of a 76. I got these windshields off a 76, but there's a lot of differences too. So when you get under the back end here, they're coil sprung. So some people coil convert their 76s here in Australia, but this has already got that done for you. And I'll shoot a nice shot down the side of the car. And what you'll notice is the wheel track is square as well. So this has a 1KZ, so 3-litre turbo diesel 4-cylinder out of the later model Prados we got and the Hiluxes. And what that means is that they didn't have to widen the front track to suit the V8. So you get square track front and back, which is a really nice thing in my opinion. Again, it's more money you don't have to spend making it do that. So when I initially bought the car, it was a darker coloured blue. It had heavy peeling to the bonnet and roof. One thing I did do that's probably pretty generic is I painted a sandy top. I think it just looks so good on this chassis. The boxy look with this colour is really nice. Plus, having the old school Bundera front end, I thought the sandy colour really just set it off nicely. I painted this myself. It's painted in acrylic, so not quite as durable as modern paints, but super easy to touch up and really easy to get a nice finish. It's sort of up to you how far you want to block it back to get that mirror look. I didn't go all the way back to mirror because it's obviously a four-wheel drive and it gets used, but I think it just looks spectacular in this colour. The flares came with the car, so when we get around to the front end, I'll sort of show you what happened there. There was a little bit of custom work to make that fit. Okay, so this is probably the most fun part of this whole car. So the front end is actually off a locally delivered Toyota Bundera. They were a short wheelbase that was essentially built on the same platform as this. I got a whole front end off a guy. It needed a bit of attention, but I was going to paint it anyway, so it worked out kind of perfectly. So front guards, bonnet, front apron, grille, headlights, corner lights. And it literally bolted on. I didn't have to cut anything, I didn't have to weld anything, to the point where I used the original inner guards. I went to all this effort to get the rust out of the old ones, get them immaculate, spray them with liner to make them look nice. And I literally unbolted down, I'll put some pictures in. I unbolted down to the inner guards. So just these guards off, bonnet off, and everything bolted up in the existing bolt holes. It's kind of amazing. And I know some people have done the newer model, like the 76 front end, there's some modifying needed there to sort of widen things out and lengthen it. But I wasn't really interested in doing that because then it just looks like every other car that was delivered to Australia. I think this looks super unique with the round headlights, and it just really makes it look beautiful, you know. So the headlights, JTX, it's an Australian company, they've got a halo built into them. Really good quality beams. These are just the factory badges. The front bumper came on it from Japan. It was just a flat bar, so again, it kind of suits that old 70 series look, so I left it like that. The scoop was an eBay scoop. It is actually functional, so we'll get under the bonnet in a second. I'll show you how that works as well. And the Prado flares. So these were the flares off the original front guards, matched with the Bundera actual guard. So there's a little bit of trimming around here to make them fit nice and flush. But in my opinion, you can't actually tell the difference. I believe they look like factory fit. Okay, the back end. Again, if you're familiar with the 76 series, there's not a whole lot that changes here. There's no tail lights in the rear bumpers, so it's just these here. These were an aftermarket tail light I bought from Japan because the old ones were pretty faded. Go around to this side. Again, we're all pretty much the same. There's not a lot going on. We've got a front runner spare wheel over here, so it's got some mounting holes. That's an addition since I've owned it. And this is an EX. So the EX was the top level trim. They've got things the 76s can't get, like sunroof. It's got suspension seats, so you can set the weight for the seat and bounce around. Unfortunately for me, they only go to 100 kilos, so it was a bit beyond that limit. But yeah, in the back here, again, very much 76 series. So these drawers are old school Black Widow drawers. I put these in and they actually came directly out of a 76 series. So again, exactly the same shape. Speakers in the back, got some Alcantara sort of finish on the inside, which was unique to the EX. There's been some nice timber trims put on by the current owner. Dresses it up nicely. Full size spare. Tailgate still closes with a 33 on the back. Okay, so this is probably the least modified part of the car. The only thing I really did was I got a top mount intercooler. So these didn't come intercooled from the factory. This intercooler came from a first generation 90 series Prado. There wasn't a lot in Australia, so I actually got this one from New Zealand, but it was all direct bolt on. It seems to keep the EGTs down a little bit, help it breathe a little bit better and just keep it safe. There's an aftermarket dual battery system that's been put in after I sold it. And you can see there where the snorkel plumbs into the airbox. So not a whole lot going on under here, but clean and tidy, nice and reliable. Okay, so sitting inside the car, it's actually a pretty comfortable place to be. A few classic Landcruiser designs. The new owners added the 90, which I think is a really nice touch, keeping in with that JDM theme. The seats in an EX are Alcantara. Same with the door cards. I blacked out all of the dash and door cards. I just think it gives it a much nicer feel. The seats in the front have suspension in them. Well, the driver's seat does. I don't think the passenger seat does. Air conditioning works, Bluetooth head unit. So as a daily driver, it's actually very comfortable. I'm sitting in the back here. I'm 6'2", just over 100 kilos. And not a ton of headroom, but you know, you could fit a couple of adults in the back here without too much trouble. Plenty of space in the boot. That's with the drawers still in there. So that's pretty awesome. And sunroof. I have done an exhaust video. If you go back through my other videos, I'll put the link up here somewhere for it. But we'll have a quick listen. So it's just got one resonator, no mufflers. Probably as nice as the 4-cylinder diesel can have done. Alright, get to the bun bit, we'll go around the front. As always, I just want to say a massive thanks to you guys for supporting the channel, watching the video through to the end. If you could please like the video, subscribe to the channel. It all helps me build the channel up, which means I have more time to spend building cars, filming cars, and getting out on the track and enjoying them. Thanks again. See you on the next one.